Okay, was anybody at EF9? Yeah. Do you remember the toxic river?
Oh, yeah.
Tell them about the toxic river. You remember that?
I only remember the color.
Okay.
Like,
That's not even the color. Doesn't. Oh, that box there, the box in front of the microphone. That was the color of the river, and it was fluorescent because at night you could see it.
Just like real swimming pools.
And it was frightful. It was really frightful. I don't know what was in it, and I don't want to know. The whole place, it was in a town called Samopshe. They said it was a sporting camp.
it's the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, I mean literally, these people had never seen an automobile. It was a Stalin-era youth camp with concrete bunkers, which we all stayed in. And they were all lined up in a row with a central hallway. And the first thing I noticed was each door had 2 locks, one on the inside, one on the outside. So,
Something like that.
they still refer to EF9 as the disaster to this day.
Going back to your bragging about the first parade. I think
You mean my fursuit parade, which is probably bigger than your con, David?
that's the only thing on it that's bigger. Do you remember your friends 19? The last
No.
year in Magdeburg, our first parade?
Yes!
14 kilometers through the city.
Mm-hmm.
How panicky we were.
Mm-hmm.
With more than 1,000 fursuiters walking through a city and across a 3-layer tramway. We told every one of our security guys we cannot control the traffic, so we have to get the parade over the street on all lanes without stopping the traffic in between. We can't do that. The police would get upset. And when we reached those lanes, we started stopping the parade, letting it move over, stopping the parade, letting it move over. And it didn't take long until 7 large police cars arrived. A really stressy looking man came out of one of them, all over with his stars, being obviously highly decorated, and he looked at me and said, "Are you responsible for this?" I said, "Oh, yeah, I guess in some way." "Okay, where do you want us to be?" The police of Magdeburg came to secure us and block the streets for us.
That's really cool. You know, I just asked my city if they closed the streets for me, and they said okay.
Wait till tonight.
It'll be worse than this.
What did they do last night? I don't remember actually.
That means you did it right.
Oh, you need a... Does this smell like chloroform to you? Never mind, let's not go there.
Tell us about the flood at your first 9.
The flood. Oh, that's your story. You remember the flood?
Flooding in the tent?
Was it when we moved the tent?
I think...
I have very hazy memories of the convention.
Yeah, the tent, they originally put the tent up on a slope. And they said, no, this is no good. We have to have it on flat ground. So they moved the tent onto flat ground. And then when the storm started, they realized why they tried to put it up on the slope. As the rising water started.
The only reason Eurofront still exists after Eurofront 9 is because the beer over there was cheap and good.
A glass of wine was 60, what was the unit of currency? Was it the krona back then, I think? But it was the equivalent of 20 cents United States. Yeah, I went in there and said, I'm going to buy your fucking bar. Just give me everything. I own you now. Here's $100.
Talking about the thunderstorm. Did I ever tell you the story about the thunderstorm in Eureka Hotel Eurofront 15? When Europa scared the shit out of me?
Your glass scared you?
Oh yes, it did. I lost it, I really did.
Tell us the story.
My former colleague and partner in crime, Wipeouts, the white-haired man with the black vest.
Oh, Geroplast.
Yeah, the
Man who looks so German.
he actually looks like a pint of Guinness. Back then, we tried a new way to deal with having shift rotations to get the con going, and we decided on doing 20 minutes of sleep, and then 2 hours of work. 20 minutes of sleep, 2 hours of the entire week. It worked. The issue is, on, I think it was the last night at Euro 15, a large thunderstorm came. If you have never been at Ringberg, the hotel is up on a hill, and in the morning it's wrapped in clouds. You're actually in the clouds. It's beautiful. The only issue is a thunderstorm up there. It's frightening.
Because you're in the cloud.
Well, then one night it was 3 a.m. I did the last tour through the first suite lounge. Oh, by the way, never go at night into the first suite lounge. It's empty. Seeing those fursuit heads with the follow me eyes, the noise around you.
Anyways, no LED ones that blink at you.
It's creepy, especially when they're light enough to float slightly in the air. Anyway, this Frankenstein laboratory I left behind and went upstairs to our room. I was rooming with Wipeouts back then, to get my 20 minutes of sleep. It was his turn to get up. Of course, I didn't want to wake him, not switch on the light in the room. Went inside, the thunderstorm out there, the room pitch dark, and Wipeouts lying there in full black clothing, scientific clothing, white hair, and his eyes wide open, and I swear he was lying there like that. And the worst thing that could have happened at that moment was him getting up like, I kid you not, this is exactly what happened. I jumped backwards out into the floor.
I got nothing to say.
It's fine.
You know him.
Oh.
Security, we have an incident here. We need 2 glasses of wine, please.
Riesling.
Oh yeah, Riesling and Müller-Thurgau.
Riesling, bitte.
Shall we not just get the bubble?
Just get the bottle.
Yeah. Let's just say it's for Conway.
Does this feel like a bottle hour?
That bottle from.
How about my room starts? Room starts.
What's yours?
Room starts. Don't ever leave certain kinds of toys in your room out of the cupboard, please. Last night we had an interesting call from one of our attendees. I'm not mentioning anyone here, but let's just say that he asked us who placed his toy in the bathroom. To cut a long story short, the house cleaning came up, cleaned the room, and they found one of those, let's say, penetratable male stimulant
Toys. Toys.
Yes. She seemed confused about what use this thing had and used it as a toothbrush stand.
She knew exactly what it was.
One of those found really well used, by the way, in a room 2 days ago. One of our paramedics thought was a bomb. So yeah, don't leave them out, please.
I just thought of one that I hadn't thought. Thank you. I got an email from one of my hotels, one of my 9 hotels, in which the lady, most of that today, Duncan.
Yes, you may, please.
Yes. It was a photo of a large satchel with a fursuit head poking out of it, and she said, somebody left a fursuit behind in the hotel. And I said, oh my God. I will find out who it belongs to. So I took that picture and I sent out a tweet. Please tell me who owns this fursuit. I want to talk to him. And there were a few tweets of, nope, sorry, don't know. Nobody recognized it. Nobody came forward to claim it. I thought, damn it, this is a fursuit. This must have cost somebody money. So, after a week, I sent an email back to the hotel saying, just send it to me, and I'll see if I can, spread the word and see if I can get a better idea who it might belong to. And about 4 days later, a large box showed up on my doorstep. And I opened it, and there was the satchel, and I unzipped it, and there was the fursuit head poking out at me. And I pulled the fursuit head out, and then I pulled out the body. And the rest of the contents of the satchel were not exactly fursuit parts. There were accessories of every shape, size, and description. It was like the entire Bad Dragon catalog. And I just put the fursuit back in, put it back in, zipped it back up, and kind of walked away. The next day I removed the fursuit and put it into a separate container, zipped the satchel back up, and threw both into the garbage. It makes sense now why nobody came forward to say, yes, that's my fursuit.
You laugh, but every convention has a box for dicks.
Put it on the charity auction.
No.
Oh, by the way, if you have such a large collection,
Did
keeping
the
them out of the
fursuit,
room again might be really, really interesting.
No, we just throw those away.
Really? No, we don't anymore. Yeah. I remember back in Ringback when one time the housekeeping found a lot of those toys lying around in the room. And when the attendee came back up, they were sorted by size, height, and a little towel around it.
Did the fursuit
So in earlier times, we were a bit more innocent and we could get away with a bit more stuff. So at Eurofluence 8 in the puppet show, we actually had planned a scene where we portrayed one of the main characters as a kind of sexual pervert thing. And the story goes along like we need a very special kind of battery to save the world, because that's what most of those stories are. And it happens that those batteries are only used for the save the world device and a very special rare kind of vibrator. So we built up this tension in the storyline. We had built up a kind of foam glue, something big thingy, which back then was like really enormous. We couldn't imagine anyone using that. It was the days before Bad Dragon. So it would be like an XL, L perhaps today. So like this. And to build up the tension, I think it was about the size, XL perhaps or so.
Sorry, go on.
I'm actually not a Bad Dragon customer. So to build up this tension, we put up this thing last, and before we put up a whole lot of other accessoires our crew members gave us for the show. So yeah, back then we could even have that on stage.
Oh God, wasn't that the year when you had that weapon of ass destruction in the...
I think that might be the one thing.
The thing, I only remember Group was telling me about it. After the puppet show, all the stuff's been thrown away. And they had a trash container in the back of the hotel, and that thing was thrown away as well. And at some point it must have lurked out of the container, like...
And that was the year their guest of honor was the man who was known to be very puritanical about furry fandom, who was sitting in the audience going...
Yeah, I got those. We got other ones that we had to pull out of orgies, but no, let's not go there.
Have you ever had an Irish guest of honor?
Blimey, I can't remember.
He said, "Blimey, that's cool." We had Diane Duane and Peter Morwood. They are authors who live in Ireland, and they flew out for Anthrocon as our guests of honor. Now, I don't intend at any time to suggest that ethnic stereotypes are correct. We could not get them out of the bar. They wouldn't leave. We had to shift all of their panels and presentations to the bar and just seat the audience in the bar. And I thought, okay, that's amusing, that's entertaining. And at the end of the convention, when I was tired and just wiped out and went in and I sat at the bar and I said to the bartender, "My wine, please." He said, I'm sorry, Dr. Gunn, we don't have any more." I said, "What? I looked over and here's Diane with the last glass. We've not had an Irish guest of honor since.
Remember when they had to restock the bar year 2015? No, 13, the first year in Ringberg.
Yeah.
When they said, oh, don't worry, we have enough stuff stuck in the bar.
Like every hotel afterwards.
That's true. When we moved to the Ringberg back in the days, they were told specifically, we will empty your bar, stock up. I said, no, we know how to handle big events, all fine. On the first night, they had to drive a large lorry down in the mist and the rain to get shit from the gas station.
This happens to every convention in a new venue.
Yeah.
Amphicon's first year in Pittsburgh, there is a very popular bar across the street called Tonic. And we tried to tell them. But on Saturday morning, there was a sign on the door that said, closed due to unexpected circumstances. But sometimes it works well. It was our second year in Pittsburgh. Directly across from the hotel, there was a little sandwich shop that had opened, run by a man named Corey. It was Corey's Subs. Corey had just opened 3 weeks before Amphicon. Brand new business owner, trying himself out. And a friend of the convention, another sandwich shop owner, Fernando, walked into Corey's sandwich shop and said, you need to be ready for next week. Here's what you need to get. You need to get 4,000 bread rolls, you need to get 480 pounds of ham, you need to get 850 cheese. And Corey wrote all this down, and okay, all right, okay, you sure? Yeah, you do this. And Corey took all this information, and he said to Fernando, okay, I'm a little confused though, aren't we competitors? And Fernando said, today we are, next week I'm going to need your help. Opening ceremonies are Friday morning. Friday morning at the convention, Corey showed up and asked if he could say something at the opening ceremonies. So I said he could. And he got up on stage, and with tears in his eyes, he said to the furries, I have earned back all of my business's starting costs now. Sometimes it works. There is a photograph taken in Philadelphia from an early Amphicon of the little convenience store across the street. It looks like something out of Mad Max. All the shelves are empty, just completely bare.
So like whenever there's a hurricane warning in America?
Actually, no. All the milk and the bread was there. Monster Energy was gone. All the candy was gone. Everything was gone. Except there's this little peanut butter candy called Mary Jane's that old ladies give you at Halloween. Nobody likes them. They're shit. So here it is. Empty shelf, giant bin of Mary Jane's, empty shelf.
So when I've been with the Paw Patrol for quite some years, you gain quite a lot of experience. And the most experience you get is actually, I would say, creativity of the gods of technology. What could go wrong? So, yes, I know for you it looks like the Paw Patrol is delayed like every year. And yes, in front of the closed doors it's just like every year, except the one we were rated on time, and perhaps tomorrow. But behind the doors, every year is different. Yes, we do learn, yes, we triple check everything, yes, we do every single thing which has failed until then, every single thing we can imagine. Gods wouldn't be gods if they were not more imaginable than us. One of the things where we had a bit of a forewarning was we're using this nice little wireless microphones. So I assume you're vaguely familiar with technology. They use like kind of electromagnetic waves. There is only limited wave available. So the government actually regulates us. The government says, this part of the spectrum is okay for you to use. Everyone uses it, that's why it's crowded. And this one is for military, and this one you can actually buy. So that's like licensed airwaves. And we had this from the company, we bought all those microphones. And when we had this equipment, and it did work, and it was in the not crowded area. But then I think it was the last year in Magdeburg, where the government decided we need to get some money. Let's rip off those licenses from all those theatrical companies in all of, I think might even be Europe, and sell them to the mobile companies. So you get nice UMTS and 4G, which was nice, but not for us, because all of our rented equipment was now illegal. We were not allowed to use it anymore. So the first year in the Estrel, we actually rented different technology. This time it was rented, it was not by us, it was handled by a professional company, so everything of course worked perfect. Okay, the last 30 minutes of delay were because of those new microphones we rented. There are many stories like this.